Suckers and motherfuckers. This is the multiform misanthropist once again for the delight of a few and the disgust of so many. The disgust of so many. Today's Thursday. It's 9 January 8:16 a.m. Brazil, São Paulo State, South America, yes. Well, the Happy New Year is not gonna be so happy because I guess the prophets of TikTok, the TikTok prophets, are spreading the message of chaos for 2025. The end of the world prophecies, global crisis prophecies, the economics collapse, the economy collapse. Yeah, the collapsing of the economy, I would say. But yeah, TikTokers are prophets. Those are our prophets. I started reading a book. My English is so bad today, man. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes I have to think a lot to speak English. I've started to read this. It's not the first time. I have read it back in 2007. I guess it was released on 2006, and I purchased it in 2007 when I was still living in Cambridge, Massachusetts. The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins, the biologist professor at Oxford University in Britain. I'm reading chapter 3, which there are some assumptions that he does and some statements that sounds a bit like, oh, it's 8:18 now, it's 8:18. Some assumptions he made, some statements which seems a little pretentious. Like, all right, man, we are atheists or whatever, agnostics. We don't believe in God. We are skeptical. We deny all gods from all religions because it sounds like mythology. We may say that Jesus isn't real or did not exist, or that Jesus was invented by Constantine or by the Roman Empire. We may say that Virgin Mary was not virgin, or maybe that those people in Portugal who claim to have seen whatever Virgin Mary or the sun or whatever, that was not real. But Richard Dawkins on chapter 3, he says that our brain has a software which triggers on us. He mentions people with delusion and mental illnesses, people who have hallucinatory experiences, and he also compares that with God believers, with Christians, with all the delusional, for the atheists, the delusional beliefs of religion, right? That's why the name it's the God Delusion, right? The God Delusion. By God, he means all the gods from all religions, and by delusion, he means that all religions sounds too irrational, right? If you are an atheist, that's your point of view. But we cannot we cannot, like, I disagree with Richard Dawkins about personal experiences, because I have my personal experience and I know what I saw and I know how real it was and it is, and how the universe is huge, and how the probability, according not only by the Drake equation of extraterrestrial life being real in the universe, and other case of people who claim to have seen flying saucers, and even, if you have like people like Travis Walton, you go into YouTube and search Travis Walton interviews. Travis Walton is the man who had an experience of abduction, of alien abduction. And there's a movie which is called Fire in the Sky, which is a terrifying movie. But according to Travis Walton, the director made a movie which it's not correspondent to his personal experience. So you must watch his interviews on YouTube to understand really what he went through. And so other many cases. But the book doesn't deal with extraterrestrials in the sense that they are. He makes a distinction between. Let me see if I remember now. Uh, supernatural beings. Supernatural beings. And what's the other word he mentions? I can't remember now. Supernatural and superhuman, I guess. Well, uh, like he says that the extraterrestrials might be superhumans because they have an advanced technology. They may be misinterpreted by us, which to their eyes we are like the middle age people, or the people from the times of Jesus are to our eyes, or or like we would be like to the middle age people with our technology, or to the people like to that people of the time, from the time of Moses and the Old Testament, because we society evolved, and we have technology and telescopes. So those aliens, those extraterrestrials, they are so advanced that we would like consider them to be gods, like to be supernatural, but they are superhumans. So that's a good point he makes. This book like has good points, good rational points. But I disagree with him that all human and personal experiences are a product of the or malfunctioning of the brain, or delusion, or paranoia, or hallucinations, or because he mentions the software of the brain, I guess human experiences and personal experiences, whether they are religious or spiritual or ufological, or if they sound like supernatural, or superhuman or folkloric, they should be more, they should be thoroughly and more carefully analyzed, because that's how science should supposed to deal with all the phenomena, even if they sound absurd. Um, I wish I could prove a flying saucer hovered above me in this block and followed me down these streets here where I live. I know what I saw. I know my experience is real. My mind in that night was not hallucinating or having any kind of delusional thoughts. I was in my rational mind. The days that followed, the years that followed were normal, except by the sleep paralysis that I had. If you study ufology, ufologists believe that some sleep paralysis after sightings or abduction may be a sign, maybe a symptom or a sign or symptom of or abduction, of sighting or contact. So I'm on chapter 3 of this book, right? So atheists and professors and scientists and philosophers, they have a tendency, people like who have high degrees from university, people who are educated, they have a tendency and sometimes even a pretentiousness to rationalize, to over rationalize, or to wish to over rationalize everything, right? And they sometimes they disconsider personal experiences, which should be more carefully analyzed. And man, it's like it would be, even if I had not seen a flying saucer. Let me see, like if my life was totally different, I would be totally different if I haven't seen the flying saucer back in 1995. I would be skeptical, as I am skeptical, right? But I would not deny people's experience or people's claim or people's case, supposedly case of abduction or encounters or sightings, because the universe is huge, right? So it's not every day you see a flying saucer hovering above you in the sky. It's not every day you have such an experience. Especially it was in my adolescence. Uh, so I was totally a different person. I was like pure and innocent and Christian. Uh, I wonder why flying saucers don't show up to people like Richard Dawkins. Maybe because they over rationalize everything, and it would be pointless for a flying saucer, for some extraterrestrials to show up to people like Richard Dawkins or Neil deGrasse Tyson, even though the fact that they could tell the scientific community and maybe they would be considered to be mad or crazy, or maybe they would become mad and crazy, you know, would create a conflict in their minds with all the information, the rational information they have. So this book, man, like, am I an atheist? Well, I have read the Bible. I was a Christian. I don't go to church anymore. I know basic. I have a basic knowledge about Islam. I have studied the Bhagavad Gita. I know some of the Hinduism and Buddhism. I have studied Buddhism. I have a basic knowledge about religion. I It's like it's hard. I don't believe in God, like from the knowledge I have. But some people may believe in another kind of supernatural being who created the universe in a type of simulation, or maybe superhuman, not supernatural. Oh no, I believe in what I saw, and what I saw was back in 1995. You know, by